Hey, what's up, Tribe? This is Adam with Warrior Tribe Tactical. Today I want to go over a little video for you about a get home bag. I know they're becoming a little more popular now that things are getting a little crazy. So I'm just going to go over some things that Sergeant Major and I came up with for you to put in a bag. Now, it's not for every situation. You guys have your own situations that you'd have to take in consideration. But it's just some ideas for you to put into that bag, some stuff that I use, and you know, some planning that I've done. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, Tribe, so the get home bag. I kind of developed mine for where I live in North Carolina. And before I retired, I was driving about 130 miles a day to work. So that's kind of the reason I developed my bag. So yours is probably going to be different. So I'm just hoping to give you some ideas for the bag that you're gonna eventually want. Maybe I'll show you some stuff that you didn't think of, and if you do see something that's really good that you don't see in my kit, please feel free to put it in the comments and let me know. I'm always in the mood to learn. Okay, so thanks ahead of time. So like I said, 130 miles to and from work for me. So what I did was I was driving through a lot of rural area. So my idea of getting home is depending on the situation. So let's say chaos broke out and there's a lot of rioting or something like that. Let's just imagine that happens. And so my whole deal is I don't want to be around people, okay? I want to stay far away from civilization. I want to be on my own and get home. So one of the first things you have to do is you have to have a map, okay? You have to have a map that you're going to be able to plan your route, okay? And you're going to have to share that with your significant other, loved ones, best friend, who cares? Whoever it is that you need them to know where you're going to be. And come up with a timeline. You know, 3 days, 4 days it's going to take me to get back, skirting the way I'm going to go, my route. For me, I was going to stay along the thruway, highway, whatever you call it, away from the highway, but skirt around it because it was mostly wooded. And there I can pretty much conceal my whereabouts from other people, which was, you know, ideal for me. So a map laid out with your route, and in it is not a bad idea to put where water sources are, maybe rest places, sleep places, where you're gonna set up camp if you need to, if you have that much time. Okay, so I know a lot of people, maybe you work an hour from home, you're gonna get home a lot quicker than 130 miles walking. Okay, so everything is kind of depending on what your scenario would be. So map is number one, okay? And you know, the next thing would be your self-protection, your self-defense tool. For me, it's my everyday carry. It's Glock 19. You know, I want multiple purpose for everything that I'm carrying on me to get home. So self-protection, and it also has a light on it. So if I needed that light, I have it, okay? I also always carry a reload magazine. All right? Now with that, what I'm gonna carry in my pack is 100 rounds of ammunition. So 100 rounds of 9mm that I'm gonna carry with me in a waterproof bag, all right? Going with that same self-defense mode, I want gun oil. I don't know how long I'm going to be out there. I don't know how many rounds I'm going to go through. I want to make sure my gun is lubed, okay? So I'm going to have that. And if I'm going to lube my gun, I want it clean, all right? So I have a little cleaning kit, weighs nothing. I think I got this for like $8.99 on Amazon. Too easy, guys, right? So you have your self-protection, your reload, your reloading rounds to refill your magazines, your gun oil, and your cleaning kit, all right? Something to think about. When I was at work, depending on what I was doing, maybe I was in my dress uniform, okay? I really don't want to hike through the woods or trek 130 miles in a dress uniform. So what I always carried in my pack is a pair of hiking boots, already broke in. You don't want to break in new boots in a 130-mile trek, all right? And then in a waterproof bag, I would have a t-shirt, socks, underwear, an overshirt, and then a good pair of hiking pants, or maybe your more tactical pants, maybe 511s or something like that. Something that you can move comfortably in, something that dries fast, maybe wicks water away. You know, a wool top wouldn't be bad. So take that in consideration. But good socks. I like boxer briefs. I don't want boxers because too much chafing going on if you're walking that distance. For some of you infantry guys out there, I know a lot of you didn't like wearing underwear. That's up to you. All right. And with that, I also carried a belt, something that could hold my firearm comfortably, securely. Okay. So something to think about. Gloves. In a waterproof bag, I always carried work gloves. So these are the mechanics gloves, and that is because if you're out there, in my scenario, 130 miles, I'm gonna need to break wood, set up camp, go through some rough terrain. I wanna protect my hands, okay? That's the reason for those. Tough gloves that are gonna hold up, okay? I don't know what the weather is gonna be like in this scenario, so in North Carolina, it rains a lot, and it's very important to stay dry. So I got a cheap pair of frog togs, upper and lower rain gear, to keep that water off me. I don't want to get wet and possible hypothermia. And when you're wet, you're miserable. So stay dry. Have a pair of wet weather gear in your kit. Depending on the weather, like right now it's in the 90s. I doubt I would carry this in my bag, but a jacket, a nice light jacket that you're not going to sweat too much when moving, and easy to take off and put on. But a nice light jacket is never a bad idea, because if it was cold, again, you're miserable. So just something to think about. What's always going to go in the pack is a shemag scarf, right? This has multi-purpose, so you can splint an injury with it, you can carry firewood with it, you can gather drinking water, so dip it in a pond, stream, whatever, wring it out, purify it. All right. You can also cool down with it, putting it in that same water, wrapping it around your neck or your forehead, whatever it is. Multi-purpose. You can breathe through these, so they're pretty thin. So if you're in an area where there's a lot of mosquitoes, especially where I am, there's a lot of mosquitoes. So if you're trying to sleep in the woods and those mosquitoes are getting after you, you can lay this over your face, so at least they're not getting in your eyes, ears, and nose and just making you miserable, because sleep is going to be very important for travel. All right. I'm always going to carry a sewing kit. All right. Why? Because if my clothes go down and I get a tear and it just keeps ripping, that's very uncomfortable, and it's annoying, and it can slow you down. So if you can take that 5 minutes, repair that rip, you're good. You're good to go. All right. Field hygiene. I'm always going to carry a toothbrush and toothpaste. All right. I don't want yuck mouth while I'm traveling. All right. So it's just a comfort that's going to bring you back to normalcy every morning. All right. So if you can brush your teeth in the morning, it gives you a little bit of positivity, helps you keep moving. All right. So field hygiene, brush your teeth. This is optional. As you've seen, I put my stuff in waterproof bags that I can kind of vacuum seal by rolling them. But an option for you is a wet weather bag that you just put right into your carry kit, and you can shove all your stuff into that. I don't use this, but because I like individual wrapping stuff, but this is an option for you. All right. So you're gonna have a cell phone, right? And you know, depending on the scenario, I know a lot of guys out there are thinking EMP and stuff. If that doesn't happen, guess what? There's going to be satellites in the air. Your cell phone will still work. But if you're traveling and you're trying to stay away from civilization, you're not going to have plugs to recharge your phone. So multi-purpose use is this solar charger. All right, you just hook it up to your phone. This hooks right onto the back of your pack, and you can walk with it and collect that energy to charge your phone later. But this one is also, like I said, multi-purpose. This has a flashlight on it. So kudos to that. All right. Along with your map, a compass. You know, a good compass, not a cheap compass. Don't go on Amazon, just buy a cheap compass. Go get a good compass, all right? And learn land navigation. Understand how this stuff works. Just don't buy it and pack it and think you're good to go. Understand how it works. Understand how direction works with the map, and you know, get good with it. Practice, train with it, all right? Another thing I use is the Garmin Fortrix 401. This is great for if you already have you know, points plotted, you can move quickly with it. Or if you have to retract from where you are, you can follow your back path and move quickly. It's great. You can set up waypoints and everything. I really like this thing. If you pack this, pack an extra battery, okay, so you don't run out. As far as tools, on my body, as soon as I start moving and change my gear, I'm gonna put on a multi-tool. All right, again, multi-purpose. So these things are like gold in the wilderness. All right, you got your pliers, you got knives, you got a little saw, tweezers on it, stuff that you will need. Okay, so it's lightweight. This one's a Gerber. You can get Leatherman, whatever your flavor is. Great tool, great piece of equipment to have. And like I said, if I start moving, this is going on my belt. Another thing that's going right on me, right out the get-go, is a little neck knife. You know, good for protection, good for splitting little kindling, and gutting a fish if you needed to, or a squirrel, whatever you're gutting. Great little piece of equipment, goes right on as soon as I start moving. In my pack, I carry the M&P, Smith & Wesson knife. Great knife, very sharp, serrated blade. This is another thing, great for gutting, whatever you need to gut. If you need to get into larger limbs and stuff and split them, this is the knife for that, okay? It comes with a sheath, and you can wear this on you too. You don't need the neck knife if you don't want, but you know, this one goes in the pack for me. With the knives, I always have a sharpener, all right? When you're doing stuff out in the woods, knives go dull very quick, all right? So the ability to sharpen a knife, because a sharp knife is by far better than that dull knife, and survivability depends on a sharp knife. So there you go, you get a little sharpener. This is something that you may want to carry, you don't have to. Multi-purpose hatchet, all right? So it's got the hammer on it, hatchet for, you know, getting that smaller size wood, and a pry bar on it. You know, I don't always carry that. It's always in my truck though. So it's something that's optional if I want to take it when I take it, if I take it. And it's just depending on the situation. If I know it's terrible weather outside and I'm trying to get home and there's buildings that are abandoned that I would maybe want to get in and stay, that pry bar and that hammer wouldn't be a bad idea, okay? First aid. First aid is always a great idea. So this is my little first aid kit for my get home bag. In it, I have Quick Clot. I have water purifying tablets, all right? Great thing to have. I also have in it some gauze, safety pins, Q-tips, what is that, alcohol wipes, iodine wipes, tweezers, and a little thing of irrigation, what is that, like that saltwater stuff, solution, that irrigation solution. So I have that in case I cut myself, whatever. I also carry in next to it a tourniquet and an Israeli bandage for any of the major wounds that you could get. Now, again, just having this stuff doesn't make you good to go. You need to learn how to use it, because if you and your buddy are traveling, or you're traveling alone, and you get a catastrophic wound and you have the tools to fix it, but you don't know how, that's just a shame. So get training, understand how to use the equipment, and then you'll have a peace of mind while you travel with it. I always carry a little fishing kit. Like I said, my route that I have planned has waterways all around it. So a little fishing kit, just in case I want to add to my food supply. Maybe I can catch a quick meal and I don't have to use the food supply that I've brought. It weighs nothing, and this tin can always come in handy, so multi-purpose. I carry fishing line, extra fishing line, and that's just extra stuff. Maybe I need more fishing line, who knows, but it can also be used to set up early warning systems. If I was staying somewhere where I needed sleep and I want to have an early warning of anything entering, a bear, a person, whatever it could be, you can tie up some stuff and set up an early warning system with the fishing line. Fire starters. You want to have the ability to start a fire. So I always carry a little bird nest pack in a waterproof bag that you can split, you can bunch up. It's good kindling. In case I'm in wet conditions, I carry 3 of these wet fire starters, and they'll burn when they're wet. So you can get a fire going with, in those wet conditions that is very hard to get a fire started. This will help, okay? On my body, I carry, when things go bad, I'm gonna put this on. It's a little flint and ferro rod, right? So nice little piece of equipment that you can carry. You don't even know you have it on, but it's available to you if you need it. In survival, 2 is 1, 1 is none, okay? So I'm also gonna try to go the easy route. I'm gonna carry a lighter, all right? So you gotta make sure it's full, check your stuff, don't just put it away and forget about it. Constantly check your stuff, and you're gonna constantly need to change your gear as well, depending on the season, okay? And depending on how things change in your lifestyle. So, a lighter. I also carry the, whatever they call this, the never-ending match. And what this is, it has, I think, 200 strikes on it that you can get that match lit on it. Okay, so just another thing. Now, keeping a fire going, you need a lot of air and you gotta breathe on that baby a little bit. So I always carry a bellow rod. Weighs next to nothing, and also can be used as a straw if you needed, right? So multi-purpose. I carry in my fire kit cotton balls with Vaseline on them, fire extender, and fire starter. You can use it as a fire starter too, but it will keep that flame going a little longer for your twigs to catch and then move on into the bigger stuff. I also carry in my fire kit these shims. Get them at Home Depot. It's nice dry wood. You can split them into really little pieces for really good kindling, okay? And there's 12 shims per pack. Light, small, easy to carry. Could be a lifesaver if you need to get a fire started, all right? And it's already, like I said, waterproofed up. All right, so food. I always carry a spork, all right? So it's a fork and a spoon in one. This one's also a bottle opener, and it has a little wrench part. So if I needed to move anything, can opener, it's got multi-purpose on it. This is pretty tough. It's titanium. This is a CRKT, if you wanted to look that up. Very handy tool, all right? I carry 3 days worth of Mountain House in my bag. This you can bunch up. It's pretty thin, so you can stack them in your pack pretty easy. Just boil and add water Now, if you needed to, if you weren't able to get a fire going, or in the area you're in, it wouldn't be beneficial to start a fire because you're trying to lay low, you can just add water and let it sit for a while, and it will get mushy enough to eat. All right, so you got that going for you. All right, but that stuff's good to carry. High calorie, 11 grams of protein per bag, so it will give you the energy you need to keep moving. Water is so important in a survival scenario, especially if it's, you know, you're moving a lot and you're traveling a lot. You're gonna lose a lot of your water, so you're gonna need to constantly replenish. I carry a GI 1 quart canteen. This is hard plastic, very durable. You know, you can beat the snot out of that thing and it's not going anywhere. It's got the carry case with the Alice clips on it, but I also dummy cord this to my bag when I get to going, because you don't want to lose anything. So 550 cord, anything that you could possibly lose that's on the outside of your pack, 550 cord that down so you don't lose it. Okay. Inside it, I have the metal canteen cup, and that is great for boiling water in, you know, so you can add it to your food, or if you're trying to just purify water, this is a great little device. Goes right into your kit, your water kit, and you will be good to go. Also, so just like in my first aid kit, in this I carry water purification tabs. All right, so I have those in multiple places in case, you know, you lose something, you got something still. All right. Light is going to be important. All right, if you're traveling, especially if you're going the route I am, at night, the woods get very dark. So I always carry a couple chem lights. You know, you break them, they shine, you go. All right. I always wear a hat. One thing you'll want in this kind of scenario, depending on the climate, you know, hot or cold, you're going to want a hat on. And one thing I always do is I carry a brim light, and that goes right on my pack. So it just hooks right onto your brim, and you can walk and see where you're going. I also carry, in a waterproof bag, a headlamp. So this guy just goes around your forehead, and you know, it's adjustable, so you can rotate it to the angle that you need and keep your pathway lit and get home without falling and breaking something. All right. Now with that, you gotta remember, you don't know how long you're gonna be out there. So I always carry extra batteries. In this waterproof bag, I carry 6 extra batteries. That those lights each take 2 batteries apiece. Know the batteries, make sure you're getting the right ones, and get good quality batteries, and you'll be good to go. All right. As far as going through, you know, water purification as well, I always carry either the life straw, which is, you know, you can drink right out of the water source through this, and it's gonna purify it. Okay, was it 99.99% of all microbes get purified through that? Or my favorite is the Sawyer Mini, which is capable of, if you had a water bottle or something, you find a water bottle, you know, there's garbage everywhere, you could fill that with water, put this on the end of that, and you can drink right through that. So you can just grab water, have it in a container, and go drink later if you need, instead of just getting over and drinking out of the water source that you find. All right. It also comes with its own little pouch. So you can see how this is right here. This goes right on the end of that, twists right on, and obviously this is a rubber band, but this comes down. So you would have filled this with water, and then you're able to drink right out of it. Pretty cool setup. Very lightweight, doesn't take up hardly any room. All right. A must-have is always 550 cord. You can use this for multiple purposes. Tying things down onto your kit, setting up shelter, great stuff. This is also, this is the 7 strand, so you can use it to help start a fire. Bungee cords, optional, obviously. I love these things because you can put them on your tarp or whatever you have, and you can adjust this up and down a tree. So if you start out and the night is night and you have a 45-degree angle shelter, if that rain kicks in, that wind kicks up, you can just slide these down that branch or whatever small tree it's attached to. You can slide it down and you can adjust your shelter with these bungee cords. All right, great little tool to have. I always, in my kit, I have these Chill Gorilla Hex Rainfly. They're large enough to fit 3 people under, but easy setup, easy to put in your kit, in your pack, very manageable, very lightweight, and easy to set up. It comes with stakes and cordage as well. So those go together and you are good to go. You know, one of the things you're going to want to do is stay off the ground. If you're moving, like I said, a route like I'd be doing through the woods, a lot of miles, you don't want to sleep on the ground. So you're going to want something in between you and that ground. So these sleeping pads are fantastic for that. Now I know, you know, it takes away from being that gray man, but you know, the route I'm taking, I don't care. You may not want to, maybe the route if you're going through a more urban environment, you may not want to have things showing where people will say, hey, I want that, I'm gonna go get it. So, you know, this is optional, obviously. This is just mine. Like I told you, I'd be traveling 130 miles to get home to my family. So that's why I have that, because I don't want my body heat getting sucked out by the ground, especially if it's moist or wet outside, okay? So conserve body heat with that. As far as a sleeping bag, depending on the weather, if I was in, let's say, New York, I'd have a full-on sleeping bag system. But down here in North Carolina, I have a bivy, just a bivy cover for that sleep system. It's waterproof, it's wind resistant, and it contains your body heat very well. Now with this, if, you know, like I said, your bag should always be changing. It should always be changing to the environment you're in, to the situations that are happening. So I might add a whoopee, you know, those poncho liner blankets that are used by us in the military, or were used. I'm a retired guy now, but were used by us, and those things are fantastic. I mean, that's my favorite piece of kit ever. I love them. If you don't want to carry something bulky like that, even though that does pack very nice, they have these emergency sleeping bags, and these are waterproof, wind resistant, and you know, they're a little more flimsy, easier to rip, but in a pinch, these are fantastic. They hold your body heat very well. They're basically those emergency blankets, but in a sleeping bag setup. All right, so nice little pickup. I think you get these for less than 35 bucks. This one was probably about 25 when I got it, so I don't know what they are now, but 25 bucks, and it's a Del Mera, if that helps. All right, let's see, did I go through everything? Nope. So my bag that I use, I know it's camouflaged again, so that gray man is out the door, but when you're picking a bag, I wanted to pick a waterproof bag. All right, something durable, something reliable, something comfortable to carry, and something that has all the pouches that I may need to go get home from where I'm at. Now, again, I chose camouflage because of the route that I'd be taking, and if I had to stow my equipment to go recon up an area, because maybe I want to check a crossing or something like that, and I don't want to be banging around the woods, I want to move pretty quickly, I could stow my stuff, hide it a little easier in the environment I would be in. Okay, so that's why I chose that. Again, if you're in an urban area, city area, you know, you may want to go with something less discreet. Now, let's be real, if things are that crazy and you're worried about what backpack you're wearing, whatever you're wearing is probably gonna get stolen off you, right? So we gotta be realistic about some things. But this, like I said, it's waterproof. It's big enough to hold all my stuff. It has all the component carrier packaging spots that I need. And the way I load up my bag is I like to do it segmented. So I have my fire kit in one, fishing kit in another area, and my sleeping set in one, clothing in another. So I set it up that way. But hey guys, this was just something for you to take a look at. I hope it helps a little bit. Remember, this is my setup. It may not be yours, but I hope I gave you some ideas that you may need that you want to add to your kit. Again, I'm always willing to learn and listen, so put your comments in the comment section. If you have something or tried something that works for you that you didn't see in mine, let me know. I want to know, and I will definitely test it out. So remember, whatever you carry, get good with it. Practice, train with it, take it out into the environments that you are thinking you would be in, and test it out, learn how to use it. Hey, we provide purpose, direction, and motivation. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. We're always happy when we get new tribe members. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Warrior Tribe Tactical, and check out our website, warriortribetactical.com. Come get some training. All right? Hey, guys, thank you.